Here we are in Ripwater County roleplay again. Hang on one second. It's always nice to be back in county. I just enjoy the relaxation of being in here and wandering around, and even if I'm doing very little, I just like it. It's fun, you know. It's like a good way to spend a Saturday morning. You know, you get up, you're like on those days when you just have nothing to do. You're kind of like in that lucky zone where you're like, oh, I have a morning where I can just be totally irresponsible and just do zip all. And, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go in Ripwater County and do nothing at all. But that's just the fun of a good Saturday morning, really. So I'm in the server now. I actually, the last few days, I've been sort of nipping at little things on the server, updating some of the scripts and stuff. Because I noticed I was having some issues with the server going down. And I was like, what is going on? The darn server keeps shutting itself off, like usually in the middle of the night. And so I started replacing scripts with newer versions. And I think what I noticed was that the script that handles database communications, basically, that handles the back and forth calls from the scripts to the database to save item data, all that stuff, was out of date. And it was throwing a lot of things up into the log, like, you know, took too long, took a long time to do something with the database. And that was happening. And so I think what that may have made the situation unstable, and so the server was going down, and I was getting really annoyed. But now, since I've updated that database thing, it looks to me like it hasn't gone down in the past couple days, which is good. That's what I want to see. So I've kind of left it alone. I'm just sort of monitoring it to see if it goes down. No one likes to see their server drop down for no real reason. It's like, you know, these RedM servers, you get them going, everything's working. And so you're like, okay, stable, status quo. I'm going to leave it for a while. Everything's good. It just does its thing. And then out of nowhere, it's just something just makes it stop working. And you don't really know what it is. And usually it just has something to do with the fact that they changed something with the RedM, you know, the CFX changed something on the back end, and something just doesn't quite work anymore. And you had nothing to do with it. You just have to go in and figure out what happened and fix it. So usually it means updating something to a newer version so that it'll work and agree with whatever updates have happened behind the scenes with RedM. So that it's always you can never really relax with this stuff. You can never let your guard down, because something will go out of date and boom, your server is just offline. So you have to just constantly be looking at it. Almost every day you have to check and, is everything running? I guess so. But that's, I guess that's the nature of the beast. You know. But anyway, man, I've also been noticing, I've been looking at Red Dead roleplay on Twitch. Man, the roleplay just isn't what it used to be. It's just like everybody just kind of stopped. They all kind of went off and went into Grand Theft Auto. They just stopped doing it, man. All the good role players just went bye-bye. I don't know why. They just left. And there's a couple left, like a couple stragglers left doing it. It's almost all new people, though. On any server I go and look at a stream on, there's a couple old timers like still doing it. But even they have just kind of like, they're just they're not even doing stories anymore. They're just kind of, slumping around, talking to people. And for the most part, it's just a whole different thing. Everybody just quit, man. And some of these guys that used to stream now, you see them, they do Grand Theft Auto. I don't know what it is about Grand Theft Auto, man. I cannot watch that for more than 10 minutes. It just looks so flat and ugly. And I compare it to Red Dead, and there's just no comparison. I just can't get comfortable looking at Grand Theft Auto. They try so hard to do good role play on there, and they do it, I guess, but the environment is just... It's just so dreary and uninteresting. I just don't know how. And I think what these people do is they just go chasing more viewers. They just think that after a while they get fed up with Red M. They're streaming and they're like, I've been streaming. Some of the good ones that have streamed to a lot of people, they'll stream to like 700, 800 people, but it never changes. It's if they stream to 20 people, they stream to 20 people for 6 years. If they stream to 200 people, it's between 180 and 220 for 6 years. If they stream to 750 people, you can be damn sure every time you look at that stream for 5 years running, that person is streaming to 750 people. It's just a bizarre play. Twitch is a very strange thing. It doesn't operate with any common sense at all. It just kind of like people stream and let me switch over to the game. They stream and Twitch only shows the top. So when you load Twitch, you're seeing the very, very tip top of the iceberg of streamers. You're just seeing the people with the most viewers. And that is it. And once those people are up there and have those viewers, it never changes. Nothing ever shifts the dynamic. It's just set in stone. And so you come into Twitch now, and look, I have no viewers, 1 viewer a time, 2 viewers maybe, but that's all. You just stay there. You really don't move anywhere, I don't think, anymore. And I think the same thing is happening with YouTube, because these things have reached a point now where they're run totally by algorithm. And they are just sort of looking at what gets the most views, who has the most views now. Boom. That's the top. That's all we're going to show people. And so nothing else has a chance to get in and sort of work its way up. There's no such thing as if you do a high quality something, people will notice and come. That doesn't work. It doesn't work that way, because there's nobody to notice, because the algorithm isn't doing anything with it, because it doesn't have enough viewers. So you're getting into a frozen pattern with these things, and I think it's really obvious on Twitch. And I think that's a lot of people are fed up with these things with Twitch. They just are like, and so what they do is, I think good Red M streamers, they get fed up with Red M, they blame Red M. They're like, oh well, it doesn't have enough people involved, so I'm going to go over to Grand Theft Auto because there's more people doing that. And they think my audience will grow. And it's like, I've watched some of these guys. They had 750 people when they were streaming on Red M, and they've got 750 people when they're streaming Grand Theft Auto. Nothing has changed for these these guys. And I'm like, God bless them. They try really hard, I think. And look, I don't know how the hell anyone ever got anywhere close to having 700 viewers on Twitch. I don't know how they did it. They must have gotten in early. It must be like 5 years ago. It was just they were able to get in and get some. I don't know, but it's very strange, all of this system with people putting Twitch and YouTube things up, and everything is very stuck and frozen. I've noticed the channels I watch on YouTube are like just not moving. They're just not increasing. Nothing is happening. Really weird. But anyway, I want to do a little moseying around. I want to do one of these delivery things up here. I was kind of planning to do that. A post office thing. Oh, I should. I have some folks upstairs that they drop things on the floor. Ask yourself how often you drop something on your floor. You ask any average human being. How often do you drop something that makes a big thump or a bang on your floor? And the answer is probably going to hover somewhere around, I don't know, maybe once a week, maybe. But these folks, man, I'm telling you, it's like every half hour. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. It's just crazy. Psycho kitty, man. It's like, what are you doing? Are you building a bowling alley? Are you tossing horseshoes? That's it. It's so weird. I mean, you just don't know. It's inexplicable. The lesson here is human beings have not figured out how to live. Because I'm telling you, man, living near other people being in a building with you, not a smart arrangement at all. It is not smart for human beings to live in close quarters with other human beings. They can be in communities, which is smart. But to live in buildings on top of each other, it's the stupidest thing ever invented by mankind. It really is. And I guess it has to do with population overabundance, because where else are you going to put people? But every human being, every family, every person should be able to have a little house with a little space around it. It's as simple as that. You should not be living in cardboard boxes with, people on top of each other. It's just not good. Not good. And I don't know why I'm insisting on experiencing it for a while, but it's not going to last long. It's not going to last. It's a worthy experiment, but that's over. So now what I want to do is head over to this thing down. Let me get my horse. Get my horse and get on there. Get the heck into where I need to be. It's down here. I have to go down to where the post office is. All right. It's it. Yeah. Okay. I guess. Let's get on in here. Knock, knock. Where's the post office? Somewhere. Oh. It's over here. There it is. Deliver the packages. See, I want to do this. I forget where the car goes. How do I get there? Oh, there it is. Here I am. I got my boxes. I'm doing a job. I'm acting like a responsible adult. Wait, do I need to take this one? No, I don't need to do that. I'm going this way. It'll tell me where to go. This is one of the nice little ways you can make money in Ripwater. You can work for the post office for a while. They always need somebody's help. And they'll pay you well. Well, hi. Yep. Yeah, it's right down in this way. Okay, so this will be delivery 1. I think. Get out. Is it in here? Where do I go? It's not that easy, is it? Drop it off at Schneider. Or maybe I have to go inside. Can't remember where I put this one. If I even did. There we go. Here. I just forgot I had to go inside. I got $10 on that one. Now where do I go? Where do I go? No. Do I have to do another one? Drop the package here. Okay. Let me take this package. I think I can just run around. What's up here? Wait, isn't it up in here?
How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, it's up at the hotel. There you go. There's your package. Drive to the saloon. Well, I don't really need to drive. I guess I can. There's your stuff. Drive to the doctor's office. That's not too far away. It's right up here. It's next door, basically. Get out of my way. I'm delivering. Come on now. Use your head.
Hello.
Really? You can't go around me? Doctor, here's your stuff. Bye now. Return to the office and hand over the carriage. And blah, blah, blah. See all the money I'm making? Return to the office. This is always the part I can't stand. Bringing the car home. Did I do it right?
Hello.
Finished job. Thank you for your work. Anytime. See, I returned everything just as I should. feel good about myself and my place in the world. See that? Everything is a good Saturday today. We have a very good town over here set up for ourselves. Oh, sometimes I wonder. Guess I didn't need to be doing 2 channels at once on that. I think my audio is fine now. I don't know why I had the audio chat channel. It didn't need to even be there. I'm going to go wager on some boxing matches down here. Well, hi. What do you got today?
New combat, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll do this guy. But you have to bet twice in order to get both players on. Okay, now we've got 2 fighters here. And we'll see what happens in a minute. Go at it, gentlemen. The fight is about to begin. In the blue corner, we have El Zurdo weighing in at 170. In the red corner, we have Old Ranger Joe weighing in at 165. There. Oh, nice move. Oh, uppercut. Oh, a knee and a hook. Oh, oh. Oh, nice hook. Nice. That was a good left. Oh, oh, uppercut and then a right hook. Oh, swing and a miss. Ooh, that took something out of him. Uh-oh. The heavier man looks tired. Yeah, oh, he's dazed. I lost. That was a good fight, gentlemen. Let's do another one. I lost that one. I lost $10. So this time I'll bet 20. I'm going to bet 20.
Place your bets.
We got Old Ranger Joe and Monty Feroz. Monty Feroz. Let's go, gentlemen. Let's fight. Come on, let's do it. Get going. They have a pause thing where they wait for bets to be placed. Here we go.
You're done now, you bastard! You picked the wrong bounty!
I won. So I came out ahead, I guess. That's good. That's a good evening. And you can always do this thing over here where you come in here. You buy a ticket, take your date with you or something. I'm interested in the movies. You have any for me? Can I buy a ticket? Let's see what I'll watch. Saviors and Savages, Ghost Story, Direct Current, Damnation. Got a few options. Farmer's Daughter, Modern Medicine, Direct Current, Damnation. I'll do. I heard about all the direct current stuff starting up. Direct current damnation. Electricity is the great wonder of the age. Direct current is dangerous. So I paid to watch an advertisement. There's nothing to pick in these bushes? Is that what I'm getting? I guess not. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, well.
Fine horse you got there.
Place like this, get even old Scratch to give God some thanks.
Amen to that.
Hey, Matt. Hi, how are you? I love Saturdays like this. Ripwater is okay. I was just earlier talking about in my little intro how I noticed the server was like glitching like over the past couple of months. And it was just going down, turning off like in the middle of the night, you know, going offline. And so I realized there were some scripts outdated and did some replacing and updating. And I think the main culprit was the SQL database script needed to be changed out. Things seem to be going better with it. But, you know, these servers are just sort of a funny thing. It's you know, it's not a direct, it's like you put a server up and it's just, people don't really care. I think what happens is people they sort of have groups of players or role players that know each other from other servers, and they tend to sort of follow each other around. Yeah, I know. I got into a whole bunch of family stuff I've been having to deal with lately, like taking care of very old people, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, oh yeah, you know, families, this happens. It's, you know, it's good and bad because people who live a long time, they get real old. They've had a long life. It's like great to get there, you know. But then, of course, when old people are really up there, things can just change very quickly. I mean, you can have a person really, really old. I'm talking about people in their 90s. I mean, these people are approaching 100 years old. And they can be one day cooking a meal for themselves, you know, even if they're in a wheelchair. And the next day, it can be all over. They can be, that's it. They can't take care of themselves anymore. Things can just change overnight. And this country is very strange the way it's like set up to deal with that. You have to start like, you have to get on the phone. You have to do all kinds of work to get things going to help people. Oh, you lost your, 89. I'm sorry to hear that. But that is what I'm talking about. Yeah. 89 years old. They have gotten there, you know. It's like, I mean, if we can get there, that'll be great. But they've done it. They did it. And yeah, yep. And there's Alzheimer's that comes into the equation. There's there's different kinds of dementia that hit, you know. And even if somebody keeps their mind really and their memories, if they get an injury or an infection or something, it can change really fast. Just because the system gets so hard hit by things that they can get very disoriented and start having like dementia sort of symptoms that they didn't have a month ago. So it's confusing and to figure out because everybody's different. That's what nurses and stuff keep telling us. Everybody has a different process they go through when they're this old, and it's very hard to predict how any one person is gonna go. But so I was doing all that recently, and I still have to do some of that. But you know, role play servers, I've just been noticing. I've been like looking at streams and stuff. The role play world in Red M has lost so many of the people that made it really good like 2 years ago. Right around the 2 year ago mark, people started leaving, I noticed, and they went over to GTA, probably hoping to find more people to watch their streams and stuff, I guess. But a lot of those people left Red M, and there was like a whole changeover in the people doing it. There's a few stragglers. Like, there's this guy I've been watching for a long time. He calls himself, now he used to call himself like Old Man Gaming or something, old man something. Now he's switched his handle on Twitch to Second Shift, and he's like a Brit, and he used to play this guy that worked in the bank, kind of just this funny personality, always, playing sort of a Brit, and he was like the banker, and he played that I guess on a couple different servers for a couple of years. And just recently I noticed he's back after a hiatus, and he's calling himself Second Shift. And he's playing an outlaw now. He's like getting into the gang thing. And I think he's on Wild RP. So it was nice to see somebody, a streamer that I had been familiar with, actually going back into Wild RP, because everybody left Wild RP. All of the people I watched on there, gone. I mean, literally almost overnight. And I know something happened. Yeah, I think it was some kind of update, but I don't think it was necessarily a technical update. I bet that Wild RP did some kind of a policy update where I don't know, they wanted to make people behave a certain way or something. Maybe they just put one too many bunch of rules in. But all I know is that everybody took off, and they all flooded into Ranch RP. Like, literally within a span of like 2 weeks, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. 2 weeks ago, these guys were all on Wild RP. Now they're all on Ranch. So I watched them, and I noticed things started to change. Like, the stories that they were engaging in just started to dwindle, and it became more like just hanging around, and slowly, bit by bit, and then they just vanished from there too, and they went into GTA, or they just were like streaming other games, So something happened. There was like, in the last 2 years, something major, just sort of a bomb dropped and just blew out the Red M roleplay somehow. It just has never recovered. It's never been the same. Not that it matters to me, though. I'm just talking about what I've seen from these other people that were kind of familiar. Doesn't really have any effect on me or what I enjoy. Because it's funny, because the game itself and the servers themselves, getting into a server and being in here is the same. It's just as good, if not better, than it was. There's like way better scripts out there now. Like, you got all kinds of like good Telegram systems. There's good, everything is better now than it was a few years ago. I think it's the servers and the way they're managed. And I think what happens with a server like Wild RP is it gets too many people behaving like it's a company and wanting to be super professional about it. And it's not. It's just not. It's not a big professional thing. It's fun on the side, really. And I think players just get antsy when they have too much pressure of like rules and systems in place. I noticed it when Wild RP put their new law system in place a few years ago. They did a major technical update, and their law system has all these forms, and it's incredibly detailed. And I was really jealous of it, because I was like, oh man, look at all that scripting they've been doing. Oh my gosh, it's like oh man, they got drop lists for everything. They've got like everything's connected to everything else. Like if you put someone's name in, you can see when they were last arrested, where they were arrested, all the little details about the interrogation, and you can link all these things together. And then I was like, the problem is though, it's so much software in the role play. And I think it just kind of makes people have to learn too much to be law on Wild RP. And so they've got to deal with all this software. And it's like software starts to outweigh role play. I think that's sort of along the lines of what happened there. Yeah. So what happens is Ripwater goes through these little phases where some people come in and they'll sort of mess around and they'll stay for a while and they'll be really kind of helpful. They'll talk to you and you try some things out with or I have a few people that are pretty steady. That come into the Discord and they recommend like new scripts that they've found and ask if I want to try them. And usually I do. And then they'll go away, they'll do other things, and then somebody will come back and they'll log in again. So it kind of has this little tiny few people that sort of like to mess around in Ripwater. And that's totally cool with me. And they'll say things like they'll come in and say, oh, I really want to get that house. One guy was in, he was like, I want to own the Hobbit house. So I went and I got the Hobbit house. Like it's a script with an MLO. And I was like, okay. So I put the Hobbit house in and I said, okay, here, you can purchase it. And so he did. And another guy wanted a particular ranch house, like down in the, not too far from the McFarland Ranch on the map, but he wanted this other ranch house. So I was like, fine, you can purchase that. Because there's a purchase system in here. You can purchase these houses. You can purchase ranches and stuff. So they do that. That's basically what it is. It's like, I think what it is, it's a nice little quiet environment for people that aren't quite comfortable or familiar with actual RP yet. And so they come in and they kind of use it as sort of a familiarization, like a training ground for themselves. That's what they do here. Feedback is awesome, man. Because when you get a few players that are willing to sort of, engage with you, and they know that you're setting up the scripts and stuff, they can be really a huge help because they'll tell you when they notice something that could be better. They'll sort of stand there. You say, no, I want to try this. Hang on, just stand still. Let me try something on you. Like I want to try the handcuffs or something. And they'll be like, yeah, they're totally cool with it. It's really nice. It makes things a lot easier to test, make sure they're working right when you have a few players that are like that. Like we had a funny thing where I had a new medical script in place, and these couple of guys, and I was like, okay, we were in the Saint Denis area. I was like, okay, now you have to shoot me. So, yeah, but you have to shoot me with 1 or 2 bullets because I was testing the bleeding system. There's a system in here where if you get shot or stabbed or something, you can get wounded, and then it'll have a bleeding factor, and you can go into the command thing and type medic, and it'll show you how fast you're bleeding, and then you have to get medical treatment in order to stop the bleeding, or you have to apply a bandage. But people love testing stuff like that because you're like, okay, you shoot him and we'll see if the bandage works. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But if you're going to set up a server like this, you really have to do it because you enjoy doing it. You can't expect to be getting a bunch of people in here. You just have to enjoy doing it and playing it, playing in the world yourself, really. Yeah. And so you set up things that in the server that people can enjoy without other players. Systems that'll like let them go and hunt bounties and stuff. No one's on right now. This morning is a very quiet. Let me. I don't think anyone's on. No one's on right now. Let me see. I have a. Yeah, no one's on. There's this thing called TX admin, and you can see it logs everything that happens on the server. Like if somebody comes in, it puts it in there. I got to go through. There's a bunch of buildings I have to update, like the Saint Denis Cathedral, the Saint Denis Hospital. There's a bunch of like towns, like Armadillo has a whole bunch of buildings, and they all have updates that have to go in. So I have to sit down for a few hours and update like 10 different buildings, towns, whatever, to make sure they're the latest. I'll probably do that like maybe Monday morning. I might have time to do that. But yeah, it can be very relaxing. You put the background music on. You have to be careful, though, when you're streaming on Twitch. You have to use music you have rights to use. Otherwise, they'll get you. So I use a service where you get a complete license for the whole, anything you play through that service. If you play it through on your Twitch, if you play it in the background of a YouTube video, it makes no difference. It's all licensed for you to use. Forever. So you don't get the dings from copyright. I still don't understand how some of these streamers on Twitch do these movie nights where they'll play an old movie, and they'll play some movie like it could be from the 60s or something, and those are under copyright, man. And they play them and they sort of chit chat on them and stuff, and I'm like, how are they getting away with that? They must be willing to absorb copyright hits, because they will sit there and play a movie from beginning to end. Like, you can play certain movies like that, but you're really, in order to be sure about copyright, you got to be way back, like 1930, something made like in 1929, 1930. That, I think, has hit public domain, and you can play that if it doesn't have a new element in it. Like if you have an old movie from, say, 1929, and it's the movie and the music as it was released in 1929, you can play that because that's public domain now. But if you're playing that 1929 movie and somebody updated some of the music, like last year, it's like new music soundtrack, you can't play that because that music is copyrighted.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. But yeah, some of this music they play on these streaming, the licensing things, it's actually, I could sit here and listen to it all day. It's actually pretty good. Oh, I want to go down and check out. I know I used to own the ranch. Oh, come on, Pat. The ranch down at Emerald. I don't think I own it anymore. Oh my god. I'm being ambushed? Dude, what? Oh shit. They came after me. Whew. See, that's what I'm talking about, man. You put things on a server that and then you forget you put them in. There it is. Uh-huh. Where's that nasty bull that shows up? Manage your ranch. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What happened? Ooh. What the hell? Oh, I bet I know what this is. Yeah, this is probably due to the fact that I updated something I shouldn't have. Let me quickly redo that. I think I know what it is. I'm going to quit out of the game real quick. And I am going to... I bet that's what it is. When you update things, you have to be real careful. Because I was updated a utility script. And usually when you see a little hiccup like that, it's because of a utility script. So what you do is you just put the old version, which you saved, back in. That's why you save old versions. And then you restart the server, so it brings up the old version again. And then you go back into the game. But yeah, so updating things. There's a set of scripts called BCC, Bryce Canyon County. They do a lot of scripts and make them available for free for other servers to use. And their recent update, this is part of what that is. I've been trying it out. It's not ready. It's not looking great. So I tried it and then I had started rolling things back. There are paid scripts. I use paid scripts here and there. And most of them are pretty good. Most of the paid scripts are very well coded. They have to be, otherwise they'd have everybody asking for refunds. So yeah, I use them for things like certain the train system. There's robbery system that uses paid scripts. There's various paid things, like things like the Telegram, and I do those myself. The crates, storage crates, I've done myself. Notebook, I did myself. But there's a bunch of things scattered in and out through here. There's like, you can rob like the oil refinery. That's a paid script, I think. But there's also free scripts that places like Bryce Canyon County make available. And those are good because they're free and all of the code is accessible, so you can modify it. The problem is that they haven't necessarily been tested that well. So you have to be really careful with those and be ready to change the code on your own. But yeah, most paid scripts I've been able to drop in and have no problems with them. Poor sap standing in the snow. There are some, I think I put one or two buildings up in this northern little town area with the snow. I think there are some others available. I think there's some cool buildings I can get for up here. Now, let me try this ranch button again and see if that little hiccup clears up. Okay, so here we are. Okay, let's go over here. No, something's goofy. Interesting, because there's no error. Oh wait, maybe there is. No, there really isn't. There's no error for this script. Manage your ranch is not working. Let's see. Let's go look at BCC Ranch is up to date. All right. Interesting. Oh, BC. Okay. So the ranch. I'm looking at the scripts. So interesting because this is one of these mysterious things where it was working before and then suddenly it stops working. You're like, here we go. Here's what I'm talking about. Yeah, look at the Main ranch menu. Okay. Very strange. I'm going to try something. I'm going to take the ranch out of the database so I don't own it. Okay, so there's no ranch for me. And I'm going to try to buy the ranch all over again new and see if that clears it up. But this is what I'm talking about. These free scripts, you got to be careful. They're wide open for you to code and manipulate the code and everything, and that's great. But there are drawbacks to these free scripts. They seem good for a while, and then there's a weakness in them that hasn't been fully tested out. Okay, so let me connect to the server, and now I'm going to switch over to game view. I gotta get going pretty soon, actually. I'm going to a birthday party today. First, I want to just see if this works. I don't like broken things. I don't like the way things break on their own with RedM. It's very annoying. I tried this. It was working. I would go in. I would manage my ranch. Everything was fine. Now what? Why suddenly it doesn't? Okay. Nobody touched anything. Okay, any day now. Any day now. There we go. All right. I want to buy a ranch. Get me in the game. Come on. Here we go. Hello.
Okay, go on now. You know you ain't meant to be here.
Oh, okay.
Go along now. I asked you to leave.
I have to set the ranch up because I deleted it. Okay. And that is... I do that. Manage. The ranches are just totally broken. I have no idea what the hell did. Maybe I should put my old ranch system back in. I mean, this clearly is not working. Well, I better end the stream anyway. I got to get going. Got to do a birthday. So it's been good. I'll come back. I'll come back in later.